Hello and welcome back. I'm Shelf Unit and this is my continuing Let's Play of Underrail. So last time we were reading some library stuff. This time we will read some more, I think. Yeah, we're on to the digital literature. So Mound. Okay, we get a cutscene. He who controls the surface controls evolution. Okay. Call of evolution. And with evolved immortality, even death may die. It sounds very Lovecraftian. Surface, the Evdoc heresy. In the 21st year, there is only treason. Sounds almost Warhammer 40k-ish. Surface troopers. I think have I done that? I might have just done that. There are no dangerous traits, there are only dangerous progeny. Archon of the genes. One gene to rule them all. Yeah. Brave new zone, brave new world. Discover John the Zoner dead, having culled himself. The end. Yeah, so Starship Troopers. I can't remember. Spirit in the Carapace, so that's like Ghost in the Shell. The anime / manga. Insects perpetuate themselves through diversity, and this includes the ability to sacrifice themselves when necessary. Foreigner. Not sure what that refers to. In deep caverns, in deep caverns, no one can hear you scream. Alien. And back. That was good. I like that. Okay, so now we have. Be quiet. We'll talk later. Reading, can't talk. So last scene. Near the library. This is the library. Thank you for returning the Reaching Man, sister. Heard you had another encounter with the lunatics. Go west. Ah, these are doors here as well. Okay. Right. So this, Sister, I'm looking for the Brass of Four called Neville. Have you seen him recently? Neville, you say? Ouch, I heard he's in big trouble. Median seemed pretty mad when he heard that Neville hasn't reported, that's for sure. However, we saw him for a brief time right before he went missing. I believe Median Samuel mentioned that someone saw him a few hours ago. He must have been referring to you. Yes, he passed by. He greeted us, had a short chat, and then he went back up towards the library. It's the last time we saw him, sister. You never left your post, even for a moment. Well, no, there was a little emergency in the utility section. What kind of emergency? One of the pipes ruptured. There was a gas leak, which in turn caused a small fire. Both of us, Benedict and I, ran down to help put the fire out. Luckily, no one was hurt. We were there for, I'd say 15 minutes or so, give or take. I'll continue looking for him. Chor guide you. Chor guide you. Okay, so that implies that he was down here, possibly. I feel like we have seen him. Making sure that I'm missing nothing important. There is. Yeah, I know that I'm not going to want to do anything with the box. I'm going to recycle the this, and that gives me scraps to make repair kit. No, that's a split. Okay, and you need to be repaired. You also need to be repaired. That was not, well, it was vaguely smart, super smart, but not as smart as I could have been there. It's a table, of course. Can I recycle the mines? I can't. I'll take them just in case I need them. Nothing else. Just to get it out of the way. Yeah. Nothing. Nothing at all in these places. It just feels like I'm missing something. I just can't shake that feeling. Put a crossbow. And I will again dismantle it. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay. See if I can find anything else. There's a viable dismantling. Ooh, plenty of stuff to dismantle in here. Hmm. 22.9, 39.8. No, mine is much better. Okay, so item. That's actually a really good gun. But not as good as that. Let's do repair kit now. Split you. Yeah. Well, I kind of didn't want to. Okay, well, let's repair you. Let's it's electronic, so I can use some standard. Do I have any standard electronic repair kits? Probably. There we go. Use 2 of you. And I can use a couple of you. And a couple on you. Okay. Right. Let's unload your weapon. Do the same to you. Check to make sure there's nobody else around here. Just going to double check. He's not in there. It just seems so weird as to where he would be. So create a couple of kits from this. There's nobody else around. Just doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem possible. No one is here. I mean, I've literally been everywhere. There's nowhere else to go. What's along here? Theodore. I'd like one hot, cute Theo for takeout, hot if possible. Sorry we're not serving Theo today, perhaps interested in something else. I wanted to ask you something really important, but was stunned by how handsome you are. Now I can't remember. That happens pretty often actually, so don't worry. Wave and wink at him seductively. He waves back and leans forward slightly as if he's going to wink. Stop, wise open, shrugs his shoulders. I'm new to the Institute of Chalk. Could you give me directions to your room? Certainly. Exit refectory at the stairs, take 4 left turns down the stairs, then turn right. My lips, sir. Will you kiss and make the pain go away? No, sister, maybe I can help you with that. Pout your lips. Or I'd better leave it to the professional. Geo Fran's medical office is right past the sleeping quarters. I'll give you something for the pain. I give up. Hungry? See you next time, Theo. Your guide, sister. Oh well, our seduction technique is not good. Right, can we go in here? We can. So let's take a look at the shelves. Let's go this way. Okay, so that's back there. That's in plain sight, so there's nothing I can do there. So, apparently did not come this way. Okay, there's nowhere else for us to go. So back up to the library, perhaps. Let's go back to talk to her. Certain files require curator or propagator rights so that they can be transferred to a memory stick. Any way for me to obtain such rights? Only curators can have curator rights, and only nobility and certain members of propagation can have privilege of having a propagator card entrusted to them. Why propagation? Most members don't need to download files. They can read everything here in the library. It minimises risks of valuable information falling into undesirable hands as well. But they, the propagators, they are the ones who propagate Tchortist into the world. They require physical media to do so. Is there any way for me to gain this privilege, sister? I'm afraid not, sister. It takes a long time for members, even members of propagation, to obtain their propagation cards. Sure, guide you now. You too, sister. Okay, so it seems like he's not here. So, I mean, there's a few places we haven't been. Just gonna dump stuff off in my barrel. Or my vase, I should say. Tchortist evolution, of course it is. Okay, let's dump some stuff off. This, you, that. Really? I suppose I can dump off the advanced patching kits and the advanced electronic kits. Yeah. Okay. So we haven't been. Where haven't we been? I don't think we've been through this door. Let's quick save before we do anything silly. Let's take a look in the vases again because, you know, vases. Episcopos Lydia. Oh, we have been up here. Okay. Really? No. I'm not doing anything. God! You do that from the inside. Take this. A gold ring. No, it's not a plot item. Empty. Didn't want to do the door. Oh, actually I did. Quick save, open this door. Poster Amelia. So Ian Starr, I'm very pleased to see you. What can I do for you? Tell me more about the West Wing? No. Chalk guide you, posterior, bum bum. Oh, the instant you make your presence known, the two men turn their heads towards you. With hesitation, the one in the highly decorated black robes, a skinny-faced man in his late 50s, addresses you with a determined yet smooth voice. Excuse me, sister. I don't know who you are, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave this office. Adjudicator Azaris and I are in the middle of an important discussion and really cannot afford to be interrupted. The other man, appearing to be of similar age, is quick to join in. His round, wrinkled face, which has a stern expression ever since you came in, quickly turns red. His voice is only slightly deeper, but notably harsher, even a bit strained than the other man's, making him sound much more imposing. Magnificent Chort! What is this meaning of this audacious intrusion? How dare you barge into the Provost's office like that? Please calm down, Adjudicator. Remember what Brother Jarfranz told you about getting upset. Think of your health. Also, come to think of it, I believe this young woman here is the Novitate. The Novitate who retrieved the reaching man from the feral lunatics, which of course does not give her the right, as you say, to barge into my office. He smiles. Still, we can be given for this act under the assumption that it never repeats again. Correct, Novitate? Adjudicator calms down, if you say so, Vladan. I mean, your great honour. But this, were this my office, an act of disrespect such as this would be not be tolerated so light-heartedly, I assure you. I have no doubt in your word, Adjudicator. He smiles. How, young Novitate, I will ask you again politely to leave us in our discussion. Thank you. I'm very sorry to have interrupted you. I'll leave this office at once, Provost. Adjudicator, Chort guide you both. Apology accepted. We will forget this ever happened. Chort guide you. Yep. Well, honestly, we didn't know. Let's talk to Lydia. You come up to a slim middle-aged woman who welcomes you into her office with an indistinct gaze. While her attractive face, marked by prominent green eyes, has an even, almost wrinkle-free appearance, her loose, deeply lined neck is an honest indicator of her true age. Her voice is calm and collected and only slightly rough on the edges. Additionally, more than one thing about her appearance and behaviour seem familiar to you, but you cannot immediately figure out why. Chort is evolution. May I help you? Evolution. Chort, I'm sorry, even sir. I had some questions for you if you have the time. Sir Evenstar, yes, I know exactly who you are. I am Episcopos Lydia. Welcome to my office. I have very little time to chat, so I ask you to make your questions brief and as concise as possible. So now, what is it you needed of me, Sir Evenstar? What do you do here? I mean, in a sense, what job does an Episcopos perform? If so, then the answer is simple. An Episcopos oversees and manages all three departments within the investigation. I've been in this position for, say, almost 10 years, and during that time we've had numerous achievements. Does that answer your question? Could you tell me more? I'm really curious. Then you'll have to wait for a more appropriate time. Plenty of work to do at the moment. My time is short. I'll leave you now. Yeah, I mean, it's Chort guide you. Chort guide you, sister. Okay, well, we didn't get a great deal done there. Let's go down here. Okay, that leads us to there. Okay, I vaguely think we've done everything there. I'm going to talk to Mediant Samuel. which will guide you. I'm looking for a Francis called Neville. Have you seen him recently? As I've already reported, seen Neville today. Last time we spoke 2 days ago when he came to the armory with a crush of ammunition from his rifle, but that's all. He got what he needed and walked away. Which will guide you. Anybody in here, maybe? No. Okay. Right. What's along here? I keep forgetting. Okay. Nothing in there. Let's talk to Miss Percival. Recognise a familiar face of Miss Percival and recognises yours too without delay. Tchortist evolution system. I'm terribly sorry, I'm currently engaged in conversation with these acolytes. Could you please see me at another time? Sorry for disturbing you. Short guide you. Anyone in here? No. Is there anyone in here? No. Okay, so there's nothing here. Right. Now I'm fairly certain I've been this way, but I'm going to go that and ask everybody I can find who I know. Okay, let's go down here. So I've got a little bit of standing in this place. Okay, let's talk to this guy. Brother, do you have any more work for me? Indeed I do. I've got 2 jobs, as a matter of fact, sis. First requires you to take a ferry ride to a pretty remote place in Lower Underrail. The second one is about a genetics disease resistance project. Interested in any one of the 2, or both perhaps? Interested in what you describe as a ferry trip. Alright sis, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Forsaken Island? I might have heard of it somewhere at some point. Might have heard of it. You know, I assume you haven't heard anything. I'll tell you what you need to know. Forsaken Island is an remote island situated somewhere between Core City, approximately southeast of it, in the more southern parts of the Lower Underrail. It is, as people say, surrounded by violent currents that make it an unpopular place for tourism. He laughs. However, there is something else there. Sits there. The Forsaken Behemoth. I've heard some exaggerated stories about its appearance and behaviour. Breathes fire, shoots lasers from its eyes, has 7 heads, various nonsense. I mean, the creature of real might have some psionic abilities. I don't deny that. It's just some of the things I've heard take it too far. However, what is consistent is all of these stories can be summarised like this. It's a big lizard. Some of the things I've heard, very big lizard. If it really exists, I want a piece of, not to fight it, but just rather a sample of its skin or whatever else you can find. So what I wish for you to do is basically this. Go to the island, find someone who's crazy enough to take you there, see if this creature exists, and bring me a sample of it. If there's a possibility, if it's the only one of its kind, try not to kill it. We might return later and try to catch it. Simple, sis. Really simple. Pays good. 650 shrons is, in my opinion, very good, and you'll receive it once you come back from the island. What do you say? Dangerous journey to hunt a giant monster? Count me in! Yeah, very good. That's all. That's all. Short guide you, brother. Genetic disease resistance. Well, that's something I got from the top. You know what I mean? Someone comes into my office and drops some stuff off on my desk, and whatever, I like it or not. I and the PI are the busiest department in Institute of Tchort, so things like that are unavoidable, I guess. Magnificent Tchort. So what I got was about a project on a genetic disease resistance. I have to find some subjects who have shown great resilience to deadly disease. Yeah, that's what I was told to do. It means he points to himself, I, the principal investigator, have to worry about subjects when I have the pacification project on my hand. Tchortist recommendation paperwork to finish. George's protein data designed to review, even study some developed cymorphs from the deep caverns that were recently brought in. What I need of you is following. Walk outside the institute, there's a bunch of people there. Ask around if anybody exhibits what we require. If not, well, we did our best. Let someone else deal with it. If you do find someone, even better, since they're already there. It would be easier to convince to come here and do simple tests. Nothing painful. That's all regarding the matter. I'm on it, brother. Sure, guide you. Okay, so we have a couple more quests. And nods as you approach. Seems casual and relaxed. Suit's covered with dirt, blood, and some green slime. And you notice what appear to be large strands of hair stuck on it. He extends his right hand to shake yours, but withdraws it at the last moment after noticing that their cleanliness matches that of his suit. Hey, is this something I can help you with? Tchortist evolution, brother. I would like to ask you a few questions. Evolution to Tchortist. I'm Vuk. Well, since I'm on a break, I suppose I could answer a few questions. Go ahead, just ask. What can you tell me about this pacification procedure performed on animals? As you probably suspect already, we found a way to make the creatures non-aggressive to other species. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the details on how we do it. Well, at least I don't know if I'm allowed to, so better not. Seek Restart, our PI, is in charge of the project and can tell you more. He shrugs. Sorry, sis. Sure, guide your brother. Ditto, sis. Oh well. Nothing to be found there, then. So let's try in here. Purchase chemicals, no problems, here we have available. Nothing of any great interest apart from the anticoagulant. There's nothing here that's, well, useful. Georges, looking for some work. Oh, interested in becoming an investigator? This is Apex. Excellent. Institute welcomes young and prosperous young women such as yourself. You know, an old quote by Lister ID sprang to my mind. Tchortists are like nucleotides from which DNA is composed, small building blocks that together form something truly great. Actions of each individual lead to the creation of something better. Every one piece of the puzzle is important. If you're wanting to become a piece just like the rest of us, then together we will complete the puzzle, yes. In any case, I have some work just for you. As ready as I'll ever be. Yes, right. I currently need you to help me with two things. First, it's related to an experimental chemical weapon, a pistol to be precise. I need some combat testing. Judging from your recent history of lunatic decimation, you shouldn't have any trouble with this one. Those feral creatures. Anyway, the second is related to the matter of locating and retrieving research data our department would find incredibly useful. It would require you to leave the Institute building. I haven't left the building since I got here. It was around 85, if I remember correctly. At the time of Core City riots, so I don't know much about how much outside has changed. Therefore, how much will my directions be accurate? So, sister, you still interested? If you are, I can give you the details. Experimental pistol. Somewhere around year 97, we were approached by the Preservation about helping us design a more advanced chemical weapon than what was available at the time. Something truly apex. You see, Harmos Stavros desired all Rasifor expeditions into the deep caverns to be equipped with several chemical weapons per combat unit during their time down there. Reasons for that were logistical nature. Combat unit could use naturally occurring caustic chemicals, acids, which are abundant in the deep caverns and can be obtained from living or environmental sources, and be self-sufficient ammunition-wise, therefore maintaining constant combat capability. Go on. Which brings us to ZAL 001. This is short for Experimental Acid Launcher. It offers a great improvement in terms of fire rate and ergonomics over all available models currently in use. And we're planning further attachments to increase capacity and to help the processing of raw chemicals in the field, yada yada yada. Sum up, I believe it to be a truly apex design. Again, where do I come in? Yes, right, it isn't now, Sarian Star. While we're pleased so far how far prototypes turned out, it still needs more field testing before it can finally enter production. That's where you come in, sister. I need you to test the weapon, preferably on lunatics or the faceless. You've successfully dealt with the former in the past, so I have no doubt you'll enjoy the work. Bottom line is, if you're interested, I can give you Zell right this very moment, so you may test it with Tchort's guidance, of course it will. I'll test it. Here it is. Excellent. The moment you receive the chemical pistol, you start inspecting in great detail. You do so out of curiosity. You have substantial knowledge of mechanics and chemistry and are interested in the way weapons like this work. It doesn't take long, however, to spot a potential problem. Namely, you're able to notice the design of the sprayer, most importantly its small diameter, is unfit for the weapon with an increased rate of fire such as this, as described by Tchortist. While it might work without problems in a safe environment, combat use would most certainly cause a jam after a short period of time due to dirt and other small particle accumulation. Consequences of this would be the build-up of pressure inside the weapon of potentially disastrous results. It's a problem with a problem, Magnificent Tchort. I don't think you can just find a problem. Explain your findings. He carefully listens to your explanation. Sporadically, he would look at the weapon itself and nod in agreement, occasionally yawn, but you are sure it has nothing to do with what you're saying. Once you're done, he answers. Yes, right, that actually makes sense. I guess we really have a look at that, and it would explain why I wouldn't show in our, well, mostly lab tests. I'll take the weapon and relay what you just told me to the design team. Here, he hands you 300 Stygian coins. Take this, sister. You earned it within mere minutes, he smiles. Apex, just Apex. Tell me more about that research data you need. Yes, right, let me tell you of an old Biocorp facility by the name of Hectate Research Outpost, which exists somewhere in the lower Underrail. It's a small facility which wouldn't be worth our time usually. We, Institute of Tchort, recently acquired a document which suggests some interesting data on protein design can be found there. Apparently they did some projects there, and well, they were able to define any novel sequences. It could be of great use. Therefore, I'd like you to visit this place, snoop around, and see what you can find. Something can be found. The facility is located somewhere to the east of Core City. We don't have an exact location, but it shouldn't be too far away from it. So what do you say, sister? You interested in making a contribution to the Institute? What else can you tell me? Well, we all know it comes from a document that recently came into our possession. Apparently Hector used to be a relatively small research facility located somewhere in Lower Underrail, and used to be owned by, you guessed it, Biocorp. Magnificent Tchort. Now that I remember, nearly everything was Biocorp back then. Hector was small and not too important, and soon it became forgotten when Biocorp was overtaken by Underrail Protectorate. Now it's time to unearth it again and uncover its secrets. I'll see what I can do about it. What can I say? But Tchort guide you. You mentioned protein design. What is that? Iodine, pardon me. I suppose I missed explaining that. Protein design is, by definition, a creation of new protein molecules that will fold or assume a certain shape to a certain protein structure. The whole reason why we would seek to do that, sister, is so we can create proteins with completely new and slightly varied functions. Since proteins are one of the most important biomolecules with numerous functions, you can see why designing new sequences is such an important task. Yes, that's right. That should be the gist of it. Tchort guide you, Georgius. Yes, Tchort guide you too. Oh, we gained 4,000 XP. Wow. Retrieve research data. I might already have it. Oops. Okay, well, nothing there. But we are picking up quests, and this is good. We're also getting a lot of XP. Okay. To investigate a shift. I wondering if you had any work I could help you with. Interesting choice. His face suddenly turns grim. Interesting choice of words, Sir Install. Oh no, did I say something offensive? I'm new to Tchortism, please forgive me. Don't be silly. Sorry, and so you haven't often defended anyone. I mentioned it was interesting because of a young Russell who came to me with those exact same words you just spoke. I mean, he was interested in what we do here and wished to help. Please continue. His name was Paval. At the time of his arrival, the department was testing terahertz, or T-ray emitter that would allow us to perform through-wall imaging. I hope you're able to understand how useful such research would be to all of us. Just imagine. I'd better leave the long talk for later and return to Russell Paval. He was a man who clearly missed his call, a member of the preservation forces who had more interest in scientific investigation than anything else. He would often drop by our lab and was, no doubt about it, genuinely interested in all the wonders of physics. Some 2 days ago he dropped by our lab and found the full possibilities of through-wall imaging, which made him even more interested and excited. I told him about needing to somehow test the transmitter in a very active environment. and since the West Wing had been reopened, personally volunteered to go there and plant the device. I thought it was too dangerous, and well, asked him how he was going to do it without me and Samuel finding out. But he convinced me he had a plan and everything was going to be, well, an apex. I guess I sent him to his doom, but he hasn't returned still, and I regret ever accepting that risk in the first place. I'm sad to say I already found him dead in the West Wing. Your expression conveyed the message long before your words. He lowered his gaze to the floor, and after you told him about Pavel's death, he sighs. Despite the fact the chances of him still being alive are so slim, the confirmation that he is dead hits hard. I'm responsible for Pavel's death as well as the opening of the West Wing, he sighs. I made some terrible mistakes that could have been completely avoided if I just wasn't so quick to make decisions or allowed myself to be convinced so easily. It's not your fault. Pavel was too confident for his own good and overestimated his abilities, and you believed him. It happens. I suppose it's true. Just to understand each other, I'm no way willing to sacrifice lives just to make the tech work. I thought he was going to be in and out quickly, and it's useless. What's done is done. Well, now at least you've managed to find the T-ray emitter he was carrying. It was not on his body or anywhere near it. Then we will forget about it. It's not worth retrieving. Also, this is for you. Give me 400 coins. Expose yourself to great danger, so here's something to compensate for it. Is there any more? Tell me more about the T-ray technology you're developing. How do I start with the problem first and then move on to the T-ray technology? Which is the solution to the problem. Our whole lives we're surrounded by walls, rock, brick, metal. Take a pick. Open space is non-existent, pretty much, and, well, visibility is therefore very limited. What if we could see through these walls? Let's move on to that. To be able to acquire a certain image of what's behind an obstacle, you first need to send some particles through or around it. Since going around is not an option most of the time, through it'll have to be, sister. You can use high-energy ionizing radiation, but that'll probably give you cancer or outright kill you. Depends. But if the energy is too low, then you're not penetrating the obstacle. Best type of radiation, according to our tests, is terahertz radiation. It lies between the microwave and the infrared band, with frequencies, well, measured in several terahertz. It's convenient for one other reason. We've managed to fine-tune the waves to pass through solid non-living objects, but to be reflected back when it hits living tissue, creating a three-dimensional map of all living entities in the operational vicinity of the emitter device. It's amazing, but it can only detect living things, right? Currently, yes, but even that's a leap forward from what we had before. Zilch. I mean, it would be pointless to explain what you can do with it. If you're smart enough, well, you'll let your imagination do the work. If you ever decide to become an investigator, imagination will be your most powerful ally. I didn't pardon me, but sometimes it's even more important than knowledge. Remember that, huh? Any more work? He seems surprised by your question. Despite the fact that I send people to their deaths, you ask me if I have work for you? I guess I love science that much. Don't we all? He laughs. Okay, hear me out. Since the first test failed, obviously, it means we still don't have foreign environment test data. Therefore, we need to finally deploy one successfully. Well now, despite the fact you seem to have taken care of yourself just fine in the West Wing, that area is off our list. Completely off, but there is another area nearby that's almost ideal for our experiment. A recent earthquake created a passage into Hippocrates Station, which was the second entrance to the Institute many, many years ago. It was closed off. Rasivul's already scanned the area, and it seems safe. And that's how we need this test to be performed. Safe. There, what you need to do is this. I give you a T-ray emitter and a comm device. You go to Hippocrates, just tell the guards I sent you, and they'll let you through. And contact me over the comm device. The emitter has a tracker, and we'll find the best place to deploy it based on the signal strength. You do that in return, no one dies. All Apex. Once you return, you get your Sharons and department gets data. Phew, all in one go. What do you say to this? Sure, got you, brother. Right, we'll get it soon enough. Right, so I think this will do for the time being. Oh my god, that's actually the guy himself. I would like to purchase something. Yeah, we'll sell them this. Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive value. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk to Ideen next time. But for now, nearly at the next level, which is, I think, yeah, going to be level 26. We will pause it here. We've discovered a lot of information. We've picked up lots of quests. And we will see what we can do. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, do not worry about it. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.